Does it sound better if I hold my mic or if I put my shit like right here?
Loki, it sounds way better when you have it up close. Like that sounds like you're
Yo.
like you're like like you're right here. All right. Maybe some of you might know that I exist and some of you might not. But what who you should know exists is this guy right here. I decided I would actually go through with doing interviews with underground artists. So yeah, we're doing that. So today we have Lax here. Um
Hello,
yeah,
people of the world.
yeah, and he is a musician within the Muted Echoes subgroup and whatnot. I don't know, like I swear they already explained it to me, and I just low key forgot half of it, but it's
I
all
mean,
good.
it's just we're just a group of friends and we make music together. That's all
Hell
it is, bro.
yeah! All right,
It's me, Kalen, structure of us, which he still hasn't put music out. We're trying to like convince him, but
structure
he's
of
like the
us.
worst perfectionist. He's the worst perfectionist ever, bro. He has 2 features out, one with Ace and one with like all of us. And bro,
Yeah,
he's so scared to put music out. But yeah,
structure of
and
us.
then
Please put something out. We're all waiting.
bro,
All right,
the
so
world is waiting, bro.
yeah, tell us a little bit about like the beginnings. What was your first instrument? Like what did you start doing?
Okay. All right. So, so I really like got into music when I was like, I want to say like 12, 13. I was like, this was when like Yeet and like shit like that was popping off. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
I don't know if my, all right. So yeah, like this is when like Yeet and shit was popping off, and I was like, damn, bro, this is kind of hard. I feel like I could do this.
Yeah.
So I got a laptop for school, and I hopped on BandLab, found myself a type beat, and I was trying to like rap over it. That shit did not work out. So that was like the first thing I ever did. Like I don't consider that like the first thing. Like I don't consider that the start of my career. So the start
Yeah.
of my career that I consider is like I want to say like mid 2023. Um, I hopped back on BandLab, and I was producing, which yeah, and the first song I ever made on BandLab actually, like the first real song I made was Daisies with No Roots, which is also out on Spotify in Bouquet. And that song was in production. It was the longest song that was in production from Bouquet. It took so long because I had to learn everything. Like, yeah, it took a long time. I want to say it was probably like 4 months, and
Oh
I think
yeah.
it is one of the better songs off that album. So I'm glad I took my time with it, but it definitely still sounds like a BandLab production.
Hey, but I mean,
um,
the longer you take with like stuff that you're making, I feel like if you take longer on it, some people say that it makes it like, oh well, I
yeah,
don't, I'm not really interested in this anymore. But I find that the longer that you take on music that the longer you take with music that you're making, it just almost like gives you more insight every single time, and it might open you up
yeah.
to other ideas, and then you might look back and be like, oh, I wish I did that, but at least you could, I wish I did that less.
Yeah, I've always find it hard, like balancing that, like trying to take like the time, like to make a song good, but not taking too long to where it's like I'm like perfecting it and like doing too much with it. You know what I mean?
Structure of
Like,
us.
yeah, exactly. That's structure blending into me a little bit, but yeah. So yeah, that's always something I try to balance, which is like keeping a beat simple, but also making it layered.
Yeah,
I'm
add
trying
your
to learn how to
flair.
do that. Yeah.
And I mean,
Um,
the other thing with that is it's not an easy thing to balance. I think that's something that just takes forever. You could say it takes time, but I swear it takes forever to like get that
yeah,
true balance where you feel like you're not overdoing it. You're not trying to be too out there, but you're also not trying to sound too much like anyone while still
yeah, for
sounding like
sure.
yourself and everything. But, you know, and speaking of like sounding like other artists, I think that there's almost like a disdain for that, but I feel like sounding like other artists
Yeah.
is like I'm putting this guy on a pedestal. Like I'm trying to show you guys how cool he is by channeling what he did through what I'm doing, you know?
I don't know. I don't really worry about that too much. Like, I always found like, I feel like the most like original thing that you can do as like an artist is just like hop in the studio, like no like inspiration tracks. Like, you know, sometimes you'll be like, oh shoot, I want to make like a, I don't know, like a curtains type beat. Like if you just hop in there and you just like are like, all right, I'm just gonna open up some instruments and just like mess around. Like I feel like that is like how you figure out like what your sound is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just hit him with the let me do daddle with this. Let me
Yeah.
with this, and then eventually
Exactly,
find something that is like you. Because I
Yeah.
mean, you could you can accidentally sound like other people, but like you'll know when you found your sound.
Yeah. That's still something I have to work on. You know, I'm still early in my career, and I need to find my sound. You know, I think I've gotten
Yeah.
closer, of course, over the years, but like I still have a long way to go, and I'm excited. Like that's one thing I think about a lot is like I don't want to. This is kind of off on a different thing, but it's kind of related. Like I don't want to discredit my old work because I'm proud of it, but I've improved so much, and I like want people to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I look back at my old work and I'm like, damn, like I gotta drop
is
something
kinda
so that
bad.
people don't think I'm ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is kind of
exactly.
bad, but then you compare it to what
Yeah.
you're doing now. Yeah, a lot of artists, I feel like they're almost afraid to keep their old stuff up because it's like, oh, well, what if they
Exactly.
think that I still sound like that? Or what if they think that I, you know, haven't grown or anything?
Yeah, that's something I definitely think about a lot. Like I've thought many times about deleting my old music, but like there's sort of two reasons that I don't want to do that. And it's because like, well, reason one is I like people to see my evolution. Like I want people to be able to look back on Bouquet and be like, oh my gosh, there's so much out of key stuff here. There's so much like offbeat stuff. And then they look at like, you know, projects that I have in the works or and stuff like that in the future when they come out, they're gonna be like, damn, like this guy's come so far and like he's only gonna get better and better. You know what I mean? And I feel like you can hear that even with just like How Strange to Be Anything at All. Like from Bouquet, like I learned how to like stay on beat in How Strange. Like it's just so much stuff, bro. Like and my next one, bro, y'all are not gonna be ready. Y'all are not gonna be ready. I'm telling you, bro.
I'm literally
You're not ready.
I'm quivering in my boots because I know a lot of people who kind of delete their old stuff, and I'll be like, hey, why'd you delete that? I like that, and they'll be like, oh well, I just didn't really like it. I just didn't really like it myself, and that's something. As much as I understand, I just think that, you know, showing everyone what you used to sound like compared to now, it's like like they're not gonna look at it and think, oh dude, this guy's shit. They're gonna look at your old stuff and be like, huh, that doesn't even sound like him anymore. And it's good to it's as long as you're doing that on your own, you could take it down. But if you're doing it on your own, listening to your old stuff and like, oh yeah, I can see, you know, how I used to sound and how I've evolved. Seeing your evolution can be a really motivating thing to keep you wanting to do it.
Yeah. Another reason, this is sort of getting into like a conceptual type of thing, but I've always had this idea in my head that like I want my music like over the years to like reflect like my life. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to look back when I'm like 50 and be like, oh my gosh, when I made Bouquet, I was just some dumb little kid, and now I have to like worry about taxes and like getting a job and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I'll be able to listen to that and I'll be like, yeah, like it was so much of like a simpler struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You look back at those old times.
Yeah, and almost like miss them.
Yeah.
For me,
I think that a lot of artists like who are older, I think that they do tend to do that without even really realizing it, because you can even think of it as specific eras of your life. This music that I made in this time period just takes me back to this era of my life.
Yeah.
Whether or not it was an easy time or a hard time too.
Yeah, and like another thing too with Bouquet specifically, is like that album. It's not very clear, and I wish I made it more clear with the album, but it's meant to be like it does have a concept, and it's meant to be like a broken home. And I feel like even if it's so like musically it's not like, you know, perfect, like there's certain moments where it's like offbeat and stuff like that, I feel like it captures so well like just a kid who like has all these emotions inside of him and he just wants to get them out, and it's not perfect, like it's messy, but it's like it's raw, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of
the vibe.
a lot of underground artists do have this rawness that contrasts heavily with what you might hear if you like go to the mall or like in car radios. There's this rawness where it's like they'll leave in like imperfections, and they'll leave in like parts where it's like, you know, maybe it's off key or off beat or out of tune, but they left it in there. I think that's a good way to show I'm human. We're all human.
Yeah.
I made a mistake in the song, but so what? It made it sound cooler too.
And like that's I think that's something that people notice, you know what I mean? Like mainstream music this year in 2025 has been like so dead, bro. Like like there's a reason we don't have a summer song, like, you know what I mean? Like I feel
that's what I'm saying.
music,
what is the summer song
right?
of this year?
What's the number one song right now? It's like Ordinary by Alex Warren. That shit, that I'm not gonna lie, no shade to Alex Warren, that shit sounds like some shit that I would hear in like 2015, bro.
I know.
Like we're in the year of our Lord 2025, bro. Like you gotta put like some like Spins 808 on that song, dude. What are we doing? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like even if it's like and no shade to mainstream music in general, because there are good songs here and there, but I feel like for the most part, like you remember back in like 2010 and that kind of era, like 2010 up until like 2015, I want to say, when like people would go on YouTube and put their music out and then they would blow up, but it's like they sounded completely different than what mainstream music was like. We don't have that anymore because YouTube is so watered down, and I think that's a big issue, because now how are you supposed to get that random like artist pop up on your For You page and it's just like they have 3 views on it and you're like one of the first people to see it, and you'll have no idea, but they blow up later. It's like we need that for something now too.
Yeah, like I feel like you can't really get that unless you like build your For You page for that, which is really unfortunate. Like I know, like for myself, when I'm like, you know, doom scrolling or whatever, you know, I'll see the odd like small artist just because that's my scene. Those are my people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you don't build your For You page, you don't get any of that.
There's a whole lot of artists that I remember that there was like that one YouTube video and it's like, wait, what even is this? Where did this come from? Yeah. But then everyone wanted to be like them. Like they would make like parody videos and stuff, like with Gangnam Style, or like Somebody That I Used to Know, and like songs like that. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? This doesn't sound like everything else. And then everyone wants to sound like them. Like with, I don't know if you know Seosin, but they were like an emo pop band and like post-hardcore band from the early 2000s. And I remember I would see like Sonic AMVs with their songs in it, and then I would hear like hundreds of other bands. I would hear like hundreds of other bands that sounded exactly like them.
That's fucking sick.
I know,
dude. I wish we had that nowadays. Yo, if there's any Sonic fans out there, make an edit to like Everything Etc., bro, or some shit, bro. I want to see that.
We need that.
If you do that, bro,
now.
I'll repost that on my Insta or something, bro. Please. That's sick.
That's what I'm saying. And that's how Seosin like blew up. Like they were already popular, but they blew up when they like started embracing social media. And I feel like they were one of the first emo bands to like do that. And then like you would hear their songs in like YouTube videos, or people would do covers of them. You can even go back in time and look up like You're Not Alone Seosin AMV, and you'll find a video with like 300 views from 17 years ago. It's insane. But yeah, another topic that I feel like that I like to ask people about is like What are your thoughts on like acoustic instruments, electric instruments, and you know, because some people have this like disdain for drum machines for some reason. What are your thoughts on stuff like that?
Um, well, in some ways, I don't feel qualified to give my opinion on that because I'm I produce electronic music. I have a guitar and a bass over there. You can't see it, but like a lot of my music is very drum machine heavy and stuff like that. But to give my unexperienced opinion, like I feel like as long as you're expressing yourself and you're being authentic with the message that you're portraying, I don't really care what instrument or DAW or if you use auto tune or not that you use, you know what I mean? Like, is because that's what music is it's an expression of yourself. And if you're expressing yourself authentically, who gives a shit if you're using a drum machine, if you're using, like an expand guitar on FL Studio instead of like a real like Fender Strat. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not tapping with this
amen?
stuff, but
I think that
exactly, bro.
because that's the thing too is I think with a lot of underground musicians, they don't really have access to a ton of real instruments. Like they can't go and buy a Fender Strat. They can't go buy like they can't go buy like 88 key keyboard. They're stuck with what they already have. And sometimes they might be lucky and might have like they might have a guitar, they might have a bass, but it's that I think that they're still expressing themselves in a way that is authentic to who they are. I mean, if you compare like a lot of underground artists with their kind of like it's like they're still learning. We're all on the same page. We're all learning how to do this at the same time. Some people might be better at mixing than other people, and some people might be better at singing than other people, etc. But I think that we're all learning on the like together in this kind of thing. And I think because with autotune too, if you think about it, there's genres where autotune being in it, like hyperpop, is just really fucking cool. Like I think using autotune in a lot of like more underground genres that are like gaining their own momentum, I think that shit's dope as fuck.
Exactly, bro. Like I feel like myself, I've been very like lucky. Like my parents are supportive of my music, which is really cool.
That's good.
Like my mom gifted me my bass and my guitar, and she also bought me an amp for Christmas.
Hell yeah.
I know, right? But like even still, like this is a Razer Siren Mini with a pop filter I bought off Amazon. You know what I mean? Like I'm not out here with like a $5,000 setup or anything. And I feel like I'm still able to express myself in a way that I'm happy with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you
even
don't
if
need
I don't
like
have
even
if I don't have
all that
everything.
like expensive gear that gets pushed in your face. I mean, with me, I don't really got that much gear either, but it's like you don't need a whole lot of gear to do something. I mean, there's people that will just record stuff on their phone, and that on its own, I think, is pretty authentic. Like imagine you can't like go in a DAW and like do all this stuff, and let me turn this up, let me turn this down. They're just putting it through their phone. Not to say DAWs are less authentic or anything, because they're not. I mean, I just think that there's a lot of people that almost feel like they need to have all this gear and that they need all this to be like to do the best that they can. But at the end of the day, if you're creating something and somebody likes it, they will like it.
Of course, yeah. And like too, like another part of that is like if you're gonna like judge me or something like that because like I use whatever, like if I use autotune or something like that, or a tool like that, like I feel like I don't really want you as my fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like at that point, you're not concerned with the art. You're not concerned with the message of the music. You're not concerned with the things that matter. You're concerned with oh, are you a poser? Do you use a real guitar? Like,
This isn't
man, let me
real
make my music.
This is
You know
not
what I mean?
This is not Pink Floyd level real music. I only
Exactly.
listen to real music, and autotune is not real music. That's just not how that
Yeah.
works. You know, because I mean, it's like you're expressing yourself in a way that is authentic to, you know, who you are and what you're trying to, you know, show other people. And the other thing too is with autotune, the music industry uses it. They've been using it since like the 90s. It's not a bad thing that it's made out to be. I think T-Pain just did that to us, where we think of like excessive autotune, but that's not even bad either, because there's plenty of artists that use autotune, and I feel like it even adds like a layer to the music. I mean, like it almost feels like they're kind of like using autotune as like part of the voice instead of like, you know, like a way to fix it. Like they're not always using it to fix their voice, but sometimes they're using it more as like a paintbrush almost.
Yeah, there's lots of artists who I really like who do that, like From the Heart, that old ass collective. They had some hard ass songs. Ace has been putting me on. I was like, back in the day when hyperpop was like popping off, I was sort of like an elitist. I was like, oh, I'm too good for this.
Yeah,
I
dude,
was
I was too. I was too.
Oh, they use autotune. This is skillless. And now I'm like in 2025, and I was like, dude, I missed out on the best time that hyperpop was around.
I did too. And it's like not only that, but like if you listen to what they're doing production wise, they are like crazy, slaying the day away. Like they just burned the house down with how much they're slaying. Because
have you heard Food House?
Food House? Who's it by?
Their
Or
production
is that an
is
artist?
nasty. It's a it's not like a collective, but it's like a band, and it's Goopy and Fraxium. If you know those two people, they are crazy with the production, bro. I listened to their first album like 2 days ago. I hope I can get to that level someday, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta give him a listen, because I've been trying to get my hyperpop up lately. I think too, a lot of artists will go through like lots of different genres. Like they'll have like an era where they do slowcore, but they'll also have an era where they do like almost like shoegaze kind of stuff. I think that you know, being versatile, it's real dope. I mean, if you can at least like, you know, dip your toes in the water of like another kind of music that you don't usually make, I think that's like, it's like an artistic statement, you know? Yeah,
and that's kind of why it's kind of funny if you look at my page, because like I'll have a new song, like you know, my new song Waiting for Your Call, gotta plug that. But yeah, like I'll have that song. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I was nervous to drop that, bro. That was my first song that I released, like myself, that I did vocals on. But yeah, my point is I'll have a song like that, and then I'll have a song like Vocals Gulp, which was released right before that, and it's like they're completely different sounds. Like Vocals Gulp is some like digicore like bullshit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason that I do that is because I don't want to be put into a box, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to make like shoegaze, like, you know, shit like that when I want to, and then I also want to be able to make like electronic music, because I'm not gonna lie, bro, like all I listen to is electronic music, bro. Like that's it, bro. And like, but the music that I was making when I was like just some sad little 13-year-old on BandLab is like this like ambient shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like
I release those songs so that like my fan base know that I'm like I can do more than just ambient stuff, okay?
Yeah,
you
but
know what I mean?
It's like, you know, not wanting to be put in a box, I think that's a really good way to put it, because if you make something and people like that, they might almost put you in this box of assuming that you're going to continue to make that. Like with My Bloody
Yeah.
Valentine, when they like, accidentally pioneered shoegaze too hard, it was almost under the assumption that they will only make shoegaze. So I feel like if they wanted to make music now and it wasn't shoegaze, people would be like, oh yeah, this is shit. But it's like,
Yeah.
allowing yourself to experiment and do other things and show that, I don't want to really be put in this box of he's gonna make this kind of music and just this kind of music, or they're gonna assume that. At least not being in that box, I feel like, will allow you to create more and allow you to show people that I don't just do this, I also do these things.
Yeah, and I feel like that shows your audience too, like we were saying, like, you're more of an artist, you know what I mean? Like you
Mm-hmm.
do more stuff with the same energy and style and stuff like that, and like, I don't know. Yeah, it just gets your audience to know you more. But yeah, I hope I don't sound like some like business hack. Like I've talked so much about the audience. I promise I make music for the art too, okay guys? I just want to get that out there.
Oh no,
But yeah.
I think that, talking about your audience shows that you are aware that your audience is part of you at that point. Like it's part of the artistic vision that, they're listening to what you make, they see what you make, and they're feeling it too. They might not feel it the way that you intend, or they might not feel the songs that you felt when you wrote them, but they're feeling it and they enjoy what you're making, and they see the vision. I think that, acknowledging that your audience exists rather than like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, I just make music. I think that's a much more like it shows that you have confidence in the music that you make. Because I mean, that's the other thing too, with like your confidence, you can be like the greatest artist on the planet and then just think, I'm alright at best, I guess. But acknowledging that you have like areas where you'd like to improve, but you still have places where like, I'm good at this, is important as an artist. Because if you know what you're good at and you know what you're not good at, then you can, show your audience what you're capable of. Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
I've been waiting for this the whole interview. Also, I want to give a shout out to Gang, Ace Crave, part of Muted Echoes. Ace Crave. I got it. That man. There might be an interview dropping with him. You never know.
Y'all
talk to Alta about that one. Yeah, you'll have to subscribe to the channel. Click all the buttons. But yeah, Ace, like, that man, literally, I would not be making music without that man. Like, when I started making music, I was like super inconsistent. Like, I would like make music for like 2 months straight. Just all I would do all day is just make music, and then I would not make music for like 6 months. And then I would come back and I would do that. Ace like showed me, like, the first studio session me and Ace ever had, we made like the best beat I've ever like touched, and I was like, bro, we need to make more music. and then I was like, do you want to join Muted Echoes? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I want to give a shout out to Kalen. Kalen's the GOAT.
Kalen!
He's in Muted Echoes as well. Yep, Kalen on Spotify just dropped his new song Crush. That shit is so fire.
Listen,
you gotta go
Crush.
check that out. Yep. He's the newest member, so we're gonna try and work with him some more. So be on the lookout for that. Gotta shout out Structure. If he ever drops a fucking song.
Structure, please drop. We're waiting.
Structure of Us. Yep.
We're waiting.
It's funny because he had like he said he had like a whole EP made, and then I made a joke and I was like, "You're never dropping." It's like I was like that shit is ass. Don't, or something like that. I don't remember. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm deleting the whole thing." And I was like, "Bro, no!" So I'm partially responsible for Structure not dropping. I'm sorry to all the Structure of Us fans out there.
Oh,
but I think he said he was gonna delete it anyway. The amount of projects that man has deleted is ridiculous. You guys gotta force that man to drop. So
hashtag Structure of Us drop in the chats.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And I want to shout out one more, like, thank you to everyone who listens to my music.
Thank
I
you
hope
to the
this
fans.
interview has humanized me some more, that I'm not an AI making these little.
This guy
these
isn't
little
an AI artist. He's a real artist.
Yeah, I have flesh and blood in this music shit. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all my shout outs. So
Yeah,
I guess that's it.